Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Cyber Scotland Week 2026. It's that time of year again. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining in. So I'm on my own today, the host of the most, as always. You can see the activity page scrolling down the bottom on the scrolly, adobe.ly/CSW Cyber Scotland Week 2026. That you will need open. That is a good one today because there's lots of text on there. So please do open that up. And before we get started, let's just go through the 3 golden rules of Adobe Express Live lessons. Rule number 1, you can pause this whenever you want. If you feel like you want to catch up, slow down, whatever it is, just pause whenever you want. That's absolutely fine. We'll just be doing it on the browser today. I'll be giving you tips for if you're on the iPad as well, but we'll keep it nice and slow. So if you do think you're falling behind a little bit, just wait and see if you can catch up. Sometimes I take time to do things and you'll maybe do things faster than me, but otherwise you can press pause and then press play again when you're ready. Number 2 is have Adobe Express open. That's always useful. Like right now, like if you haven't got it open, get it open now. That's always useful. And number 3 is if you haven't registered for this lesson, make sure you do so, because at 4 o'clock, I will be sending out certificates to your teachers, and you will be able to give those out to everybody in your class to say that you have attended and completed the activities today. Okay, nice and quick there. Let's go to the activity page. So let me put that on my screen. It's this one. No, not that one. It's this one. Hey, there we go. Right. Cyber Scotland Week 2026, adobe.ly/CSW 2026 will take you through to this page. If you're on an iPad, then use your camera app to scan that QR code, press the green button that comes up, and it will take you immediately to this page. What have we got going on today? Well, activity number 1, we're going to make a SMART infographic. The SMART acronym, you can see down here on the left-hand side. S is for safe, M is for meet, A is for accepting, R is for reliable, and T is for tell. We're going to create an infographic that spells out that SMART acronym. That's the word, that's the term for a word which spells out different kind of things. We're going to be doing an acronym infographic for staying safe online. Activity 2, we'll be turning that into a smart video. We're going to be using bits of AI on that as well. Nice and safe AI, which is great. But let's take a look at this first one. Now, if you go down to the bottom here, you'll see text for iPad users. Sometimes it's not so easy to copy and paste text from a normal website using an iPad. And so we have, if you click that button, this here. This is the smart infographic text that you'll need for both activity 1 and activity 2. So please do open that up if you're on an iPad. You can probably open that up if you're on a browser as well. If you think that's going to be easier for you, that's absolutely fine. Right, okay, so create an infographic that spells out the SMART acronym. Let's get ready to rumble. So here we are on the home page. And the first thing we're going to do, rather than going down to one of these hero tiles here, we're going to go over to the top left, the plus, give it a click. And we're looking for a landscape. This 16:9 one here, you can see it flashing up. I'm going to give that a click. And here we go. Right. What is the first rule of doing an Express project? It is rename your project. Of course, I'm going to say CSW Smart. I'll call mine. There we go. 2026, maybe something like that. Okay, cool. Should always rename it because then you'll be able to find it later. Okay. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the left-hand side. If you're on an iPad, you will see, rather than it being nested in here, you'll see elements on your left-hand side. If not, go to add content if you're on a browser and go to elements, as someone calls it, Mr. Jones, and go to backgrounds. There we go. Now, search backgrounds. What am I going to search for? Digital, cyber, all of those things are good. Let's try for cyber. What have we got? Now, My advice for you is this looks cool, but it will start to make things look kind of crowded and kind of crazy on your infographic. Okay. I would go for something a little bit more subtle, maybe something like that. I mean, it's totally up to you. That one's pretty good as well. That one's cool, actually. That one does seem to work quite well. But you want something with a kind of cyber vibe, but maybe not too crazy on screen. That would be very, very important. I actually quite like that as well. But I think I probably maybe try this one and see how it goes. It's quite strong on the color front, but I think we're going to be okay. Right. Next thing we're going to do is within elements again, you can see that you've got this kind of scrolly, left to right, left to right. I'm going to go to shapes or shapes if you're in Northern Ireland. And rather than searching for cyber, which isn't going to get anything, just click the X next to it. That'll come off. And you'll be able to go down to rectangles, right? And you can slide across there as well. Now, a square is a rectangle. I'm going to click the square. It goes in there. And then what I'm going to do is, now this color isn't doing us any favors, is it? So let's change this color now. Down in the fill, you see that down there? If you've got it, click off it, click back on it. You can change the fill color. I'm going to change it to white. Then within that, I can change the opacity, how much you can see through it. If I give that a click and maybe turn it down to, yeah, maybe about 50%, that looks good to me. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to stretch it all the way up to the top, all the way down to the bottom. And I mean, size-wise, yeah, that's probably okay. I think, yeah, I'll probably leave it like that, I think. And then I'm going to go to duplicate. So I'm going to duplicate it there and then bring that across roughly in the same sort of place, which is around about there, I think. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, those things are important because it will allow your things like your text and images, which are going to be placed on either side of this graphic, allowed to be seen very, very easily, especially if you've got a crazy background. Mine's a little bit crazier than I thought I was going to do, but I'm going to give it a try. Okay, now that you've got those rectangles in place and you've lowered the opacity on those, don't forget, if you want to click that, go to opacity, you can lower it down there. I went for around 50%, it came out of 49, that's fine. I'm going to start putting in some text. So I'm going to go T for text, add my text. Now, it gives you kind of placeholder text in here. Now, the first letter of our acronym is S, okay? So I'm just going to type in S. I'm going to make sure it's a capital. I think that's important. Make sure it's a capital. And then I'm going to put it into roughly a position that I want it to be, and it's going to be up here. Right. Now, there's lots of things I don't like about this. Don't like the fonts, don't like the color. There's no outline on it. I'm going to change all of those things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I found a really cool font here. And if I go to Orbitron, that's the one. Now you can see that is the font. But if you click the arrow down the left-hand side, you get a font family. Light, medium, bold, and black. That's going from kind of going from kind of weak to strong. That's the way I think about it. So black being the strongest. Give that a click. Nice and chunky. Look at that. Great. Now, in terms of colors, you can choose one of your colors from your swatches, for example, something like this, something like that. This one's pretty good. Yeah, that one seems to stand out. If you wanted to as well, you could use your dropper icon. You see it there? You can click that dropper icon and then go and hover over one of these colors in your background. Maybe that could be cool. I'll leave you to decide how you want to do that. So I've got that as my text color, and you can see that here I've also got an outline color, that white box with the red stripe through. So I'm going to go to that outline color box and maybe like a purple outline. Yeah, cool. Like it. Now, to make it even stronger, click the 3 lines next to your outline color, and then maybe bring the thickness up, going for about 50 on that as well. There we go. Cool. 50% opacity on your shape. and then around about 50% on your outline color. But you can decide to do it however you like. Now, in terms of spacing these out, because I'm going to do S, then M, then A, then R, then T, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it for now. And then I'll see maybe further down the line if I'm going to start messing around with that. Okay, so I spent a lot of time making that piece of text look good. Okay, so all I'm going to do is go to duplicate up at the top here. You see? Duplicate. Same one, bring it down. Now I need a little bit of space underneath because I'm going to put some text in each one of these. But then I'm just going to highlight that and change it to M, duplicate again, and then double click A. Now I'm already running out of space here, so I'm going to start moving these up. You can see the pink line is telling me that it's centered. That's good. Maybe the S needs to go further up. Yeah, make that up to the top. I think is a bit closer on that one. Now we're starting to. No, this is starting to work. I think I can get the R and the T in there quite easily. Duplicate again. Bring that down, roughly around about there. I am running out of space again. And then duplicate, and this one's going to be T. And I need to find a way of being able to get all these and move them up. Now, do give yourself a little space underneath each letter because I am going to write in there what each one represents. But that still a bit of space needed, I think. Maybe the letters themselves are too big. Maybe I'll have to play around with that, I think. But there we go. That is roughly what I'm looking for. Okay, smart. Cool. That's our acronym. Okay, so what do each one of these acronyms mean? Well, S is for safe. Okay, so maybe I'll just, all I want to do here is say which each one is, okay? So safe is the first one. So let's go back to Express. I think what I'm going to do is click that, duplicate it, and then just go SAFE. Okay, maybe I'll change the colors on this one. Okay, maybe I'll change the text color to be white. Do you know what? That's pretty cool. White with the kind of purple outline. That's cool. I like that. And then I'll just use the corners to make it nice. And there we go. Cool. Center it there. Can get a little centering line, which is good. Yeah, about there. That's cool. And then I'm going to duplicate that. So the next one is going to be, oh, I highlighted the wrong one there. Now, if you're struggling like me to highlight the word that you want, go and select it in the left-hand side. Ooh. Right, select it, maybe move it out, turn it into meat, and then pop it in. Right about there, cool. Duplicate it, bring it out. Next one is, let's just check what the next one is. It's accepting. Now I might change, you see it there. Now I might change that to accept, just to make it a little bit shorter, because I don't have loads of room here. So maybe I'd put it down to accept. Okay, cool. Put it around about there, which is good. And then I'll duplicate it again. And then I'll go, R is for reliable. Are you seeing reliable information when you're online, for example? That'll be cool. Oh, I've just realized if I want to put something underneath the T, I've got no space left. So yeah, I'm going to have to start bunching this up really, really heavily, I think. Maybe the A can go up a bit. And then accept. Come on, you're going to let me? No. I'm going to have to select it over here. And then I'm just using my arrow keys to take it up. Take it up. Reliable. Select it in my layer stack. Take it up. It's a bit fiddly, this, but once you're done, you're done. You've only got one more to do now. And then if I select reliable and then duplicate that, bring it out here. And then the last one is tell. Any issues you're having, tell an adult. Okay, cool. Right. That's all done on the left-hand side. That's perfect. Okay. So now that that's done, we're going to carry on working with text. Or maybe, let's have a look. Tell you what, let's work with some images because that's a bit more exciting. So S is for safe. Keep your information private. Don't share your name, age, school, or where you live. That's a very good piece of advice. So if I go to add content, if you're on the iPad, you'll just go to elements on the left-hand side, give it a click, go to design assets, and then what am I going to search for here? So I might search for personal information. Okay. Nice. Okay, so I think this one looks good to me. It's sort of that it's got the kind of all the kind of bits I think would represent personal information on there, like somebody's blanked out face, kind of like some kind of document with loads of details on there. So that's a good one for there. Right, next one is meet. What is that all about? Be careful with people online. If someone asks you to meet or wants photos, tell a trusted adult. So talk about online meeting. So if I go back here and go to add content, or if you're on an iPad, straight to elements, design assets again. And in here, I'll search for online meet. Okay. This second one looks good to me. I like that. There's lots of people meeting online. Just need to be a little bit mindful when you are meeting online that you do know all these people or that they are trusted people. That's a good thing. Okay, A for accept. What does that mean? Ask a trusted adult before accepting friend requests or clicking pop-ups. Don't accept people you don't know. I know a lot of people will play video games and stuff like that. Well, if you are, and there's a lot of online sort of chat stuff on there. Make sure you know who you are, who you're talking to. So let's go to elements again, design assets, and let's put friend request, I think is a good one. Oh, there's only one, but that one looks good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, you can see if you zoom in a bit more, you've got lots of friend requests on there. Cool. So just make sure that if you are getting friend requests there, they are from people that you actually do know. Right, the pink line is helping me stay kind of nice and centered here, so that's all good. Right, reliable. Let's have a read of what that's all about. I need to go and reshare my screen. I think I've just tapped it off by mistake. Let's go to share screen, share screen, share screen, and there we go. Okay. That's not sharing. Add to stage. There we go. That's done now. Okay. So what is R for reliable? What's that all about? Not everything online is true. Check with an adult to make sure it's real. Okay. So what kind of design asset are we going to look for here in elements? So go to elements, design asset again. And I think I'll put like fact check. Very important that you don't take everything as truth when you're online. There's lots of people putting stuff on there which isn't necessarily true. So fact check will be a good one. Put that around about there. That's middled it nicely with R, which is good. And then the last one is tell an adult. Okay, so in our elements here again, design asset, we'll just go to adult. Just put that in there. And what have we got? I'm looking for someone. Oh, they look trustworthy. Look at them. Absolute boss. That's exactly the kind of person you want to be going to. Someone who knows what they're talking about. Nice. Put that in there. That's nice. And that kind of finishes us up there. Okay, we are nearly. I mean, this is quick, isn't it? This is going together really quickly, which is nice. Okay. So what are we going to do in this central bit here? Well, let's have a little look-see and see what we're going to do. So I think I'll go back here again. And what I want to do here is click and drag over this first piece of text here. Copy the text. If you're on an iPad, you'll be clicking and holding and then just moving out the little, what do they call them? I don't know. the little blue circles. Take those out and get all of that information, copy it. Okay, then let's go back here. And here we want to be going to text, add text, add your text. Now it's giving me Orbitron again. That's cool. I'm happy with that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll change the weight. I'll change the weight of this font to something like medium, maybe. Maybe that'll make it a bit clearer. And then once it's in there, I'm just going to paste. You can do that in different ways. You can use keyboard shortcuts, Command and V, or Control and V. Or you can go to your three dots with your text selected and go to paste. There we go. Now that that's in there, I've got a couple of problems. My first problem is you can't read it. That's a pretty big problem to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to text color white. Much better. And I think I want to put each one of these bits of information kind of in a box. So what I'm going to do is go to Effects, then scroll down in Effects, and I think I'm going to go for this kind of lozenge shape down here, like a button shape. Ooh, nice. Okay, now that that's done, with it still selected, I want to click on the sliders. You see the sliders down here? I want to click on that. First thing I want to do is make sure the shape size, if you look at the K and the S, for example, they're getting cut off, or they're not even being sort of backed by the shape, if you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the shape. Okay. I mean, it might be easier if I actually went to this shape instead. Do you know what? That is better, I think. Right, but if I go to the sliders again, I can then decide what my text color is going to be. I chose white, and what my shape color is going to be. So what shape color shall I use? Well, maybe I'll try this purple again. Yeah, I think that fits in really nicely with my color scheme. So I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is X out of that, go back to edit in my text box here. And then I might play around with align left, align center. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then what I want to do is I want to bring this down. Okay. And then I roughly want to put this in here in the same sort of place as the S's and safe. And I want it middled. And that is perfect. Just there. All of those alignment tools are being very well behaved for me there. So that's good. Right, now you've done that once. Very simple. Click duplicate. Bring it down to the next one. Meet. I think I'll line it up there. Now, obviously, the information isn't the same here. Okay, so let's go to here. And it says, be careful with people online. If someone asks to meet you or wants photos, tell a trusted adult. So let's go back here and then triple click in this box. And then whichever way you've decided to paste, whether it's Control and V on your keypad, or whether you've gone to the browser here and gone to paste, or on the iPad, in fact, when you copy something, you'll have the like the clipboard. Those three little icons will come up in your clipboard, and you can click the third one. But as simple as that, you just need to paste it in and then duplicate it again. Right, what's accept all about? Let's go back over here. Ask a trusted adult before accepting friend requests or clicking pop-ups. Don't accept people you don't know. So let's go here, triple click, paste it in. Now, more text on this. How do you get around that? Well, the first thing I would try is, because I want to get everything onto 3 lines if possible, is moving out the size of your text box. Don't want to go too far, just far enough so that it goes onto 3 lines, and then I will center it again. You can't necessarily see it on here. Maybe if I zoom in, will it work? You can see that the alignment line is perfect there. Okay, nice. Duplicate that again. Very, very simple stuff here. Okay, put it in the middle. And maybe I'll go back over to my page. Reliable. Not everything online is true. Check with an adult to make sure it's real. And then go to back to your text box, triple click, paste. Now this one, I actually don't mind that it's on 2 lines, because I kind of look at these 3 boxes here and think, actually, are these kind of getting a little bit too crowded? Maybe 2 lines would be the best way to go. There we go. And then it just gives us a little bit more space, maybe, because it's still very readable. So just wait until it comes down onto 2 lines. There we go. Nice. Center that one. Around about there. Same with this one. Kind of want to get it onto 2 lines. Okay, nice. And then this one's already on 2 lines, and it is bigger. The text is bigger. Kind of don't mind that, really. Maybe I'll bring it down a little bit. And maybe bring the box just slightly tighter. There we go. And that makes it into a bit more of a chunky piece of text, which is cool. And then duplicate the last one. Roughly have it in position before you go back to your text. T is for tell. If something online makes you scared or worried, tell a trusted adult right away. Copy that text. Go back to our graphic. Triple click in the box. Paste it in there. It's a little too big. Let's bring it down there and put it in there. Okay. What do we think of that? I'm into that. I liked all my graphics on the right-hand side here. That all worked well. If you want to change anything, you know that you can click there, press replace with a design asset. We searched for adult last time. Maybe let's try and find someone who you think looks responsible. I mean, you could always put like something like teacher in there. That would be a good person. Someone like, look at Missy down here. Go. So, you know, it's very easy to select something and then replace it. I think the trickiest thing here is kind of getting all of these bits here to line up properly. And once you do, you're absolutely fine. Now, if you get to the end of this and you think, oh, that background of mine is really busy, you can also just click that background and then press replace up here again. Go replace from backgrounds. And if you go to, if I just put in cyber here, the cool thing about backgrounds is that you can click them and see which one works. Like that one, for example, way too busy. Does not work at all. That's too busy as well. This is the one I had, but I could test out some others. No, I think I made a good choice. This one's pretty cool. But if you want to, you can go through and change and then just hit replace. But I just kept the same one that I had before, so I thought I made an excellent choice. Okie dokie. Now, that is activity 1. If you want to download that, you've got the download button here in the top right. This one here, you can download it. If you want to print it out, PDF print is probably the best. Not going to make that much difference, really. And then click download here. It'll download it to your computer. Otherwise, you can click share, send it to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or make a view-only link by clicking there, scrolling down a little bit if you need to, and click create link. That's the pace, which will mean that you can get a link and you can send that to whoever you like. Okay, simple, like it. So what are we going to do next? Well, let's go back to our activity page here. As always, it's adobe.ly/CSW 2026. And activity 2 is to present your smart video using AI. So we're going to use AI through animate character if you're on a browser, for example, or self-recording a video and removing the background using AI to bring your explainer video to life. You're basically going to be taking that activity 1 infographic that you've been doing and duplicate it to make it into a video. So how are we going to do that? There's a little example here if you need it later. There's also a bit of a, step-by-step guide on exactly what you should do. But let's go back here. And what you will see down the bottom right here, you see it round about there, the page actions, 3 dots. Go there and go to duplicate. Okay, right. Now, this is exactly the same as the other graphic, exactly the same. They're no different to each other in any way, shape, or form. We're going to make it different now, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 3 dots down here on number 2, and we're going to go to Edit Timeline. As soon as you click that, it's going to make it into a video. So that's why we duplicate it, because we want to keep one for print. Number 1 is for print, and then number 2 is going to be a video. So go to Edit Timeline. Bosh. Right, look what we've got here. What are we going to do with this? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the 3 dots on this first scene, and we're going to go to duplicate. And that's going to be for S. 3 dots on the second one, duplicate again. That's for M. 3 dots, duplicate A. 3 dots, duplicate R. 3 dots, duplicate T. S-M-A-R-T, plus the one at the start, which is going to be kind of like our intro. Okay. So what do I need to do here? Well, I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to select these pieces of text in the middle. I'm just going to delete them all. Okay. So I'm going to click delete, 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 and delete. All of those there. Now, that means that we've got this nice empty space in the middle where you are going to record a little intro. Okay, so I'm going to record mine. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to go to add content. If you're on a browser, you'll go to add content media. If you're on an iPad, you'll just select media on the left-hand side. So go to media, go to videos. And on the browser, you have the option to animate a character. You can also do this on the iPad as well, but you have to open a new project, do your animate character, and then bring it across to here by copying it. So I will start off by doing record yourself. I will do an animate character for browser users, but if you're on the iPad, you're going to be recording yourself on all of these, unless you know already how to do that little workaround for animate characters. So let's go to record yourself. Okay, perfect. There I am. Hello. And what I'm going to do is, I don't know why necessarily. I think maybe just going to put it up there for now because I want to see that SMART acronym. And I'm going to think of a little intro now. I'm going to say something like, hey, welcome to my video about how you can stay smart online for Cyber Scotland Week 2026. Okay, just keep it nice and simple. Okay, I'm going to click start recording. Now, you can all do this at the same time because I'm going to show you the enhance audio feature. So don't worry about recording and other people getting on your recording and everyone doing it at the same time. It's absolutely fine. So let's get going. Hi, and welcome to my smart infographic on how you can stay safe online as part of Cyber Scotland Week 2026. Love a bit of radio presenter voice. Now, when you've done that, you can click save recording just there. That is going to go straight into your editing window here. It's doing a little processing. That's fine. Might take 5-10 seconds or so. Don't worry about that, because what we're going to do is we're going to use our friend over here. This is background Barry. You can see it says remove background. Right now it's grayed out. It's grayed out because it's not grayed out anymore because it was processing the video. Now if I click remove background, it's going to take out all of the stuff in the background, like all of that purple stuff. The other thing I'm going to do as well, and this is the nifty trick, if you've been recording in a very busy classroom and all of your classmates, you feel like, oh, they're all on my recording as well. Don't worry about it. Just go to the enhance speech button and give that a click as well. So now you've got two things going on. You've got the remove background going on, and you've got the enhance speech going on too, which is pretty cool. Enhanced speech is finished. That's nice. We're just waiting for a bit of background to be removed. Nice. Look at that. Now, what I can do is, I think I'm going to put it kind of in the center here, but also you might, depending on how big your recording is, I mean, maybe I could make myself a bit smaller, something like that. Yeah, that looks good. But if you need to, you can always pop yourself down the layer stack so that you're behind your two rectangles. Remember those rectangles we put down the left-hand side and the right-hand side? I'm going to pop myself just behind that, which means that if I did have myself too big, I'm not going to obscure or get in the way of any icons or design assets or text or anything like that. Cool. So let's have a little play and see where we're at. Hi, and welcome to my smart infographic on how you can stay safe. Actually, let me change the output on this. Hi, and welcome to my smart infographic on how you can stay safe online as part of Cyber Scotland Week 2026. Yeah, loving that. Okay, cool. Now, this is going to be super simple, all right? So you're going to go to section number 1 here. Now, each scene is for each letter. So the first letter is going to be S. So every other bit of text underneath in that central section, I'm going to delete. All right? I'm going to delete, delete, delete. Okay. And all I need to do here now is, I can do this in a couple of different ways. I could, just in the same way that I did my first recording here, I could just have like a big self-record in the middle here. Super easy to do. Go to media, go to videos, record yourself, and then you could go like, S is for safe. Keep your information private. Don't share your name, age, school, or where you live. All right, it's all on screen. That's kind of the beauty of recording yourself, you see, because you actually see what it says online. You can actually see it in the window here. So let's go here. Keep your information private. Don't share your name, age, school, or where you live. Nice. So that's how you would do that. And this is particularly good for iPad users. You have very quick access to the camera there. So this is a really easy one for you to do. You can play around with things like cropping your video if you like. You have different shapes that you can crop it into. I think the circles are pretty good. Like I could crop this one to a circle and then click done. I might want to double click on my video and just move myself into the middle a bit. Click done. And then I think also I'd probably bring myself down here as well. Now I could remove the background on this. Don't have to though, do I? Like I might actually just keep it in. That's fine. But I do want to enhance the speech. And if you're in a busy classroom and everybody else is recording, you probably want to do that too. All right. So if you're on an iPad, probably the easiest way is for you to now go scene to scene, recording all of these by deleting the things you don't want. So my next scene, I can get rid of safe, because the one I'm going to do in this next scene is meat. All right. So I'll keep the meat text in there, which is good. And then, I mean, if you want to, you can kind of make this text bigger, for example. Like you could make it much bigger and then like put it up to the top if you want, and then just put your face in there, for example. I'll leave you to decide how you want to do that. But what I am going to show for people on the browser is how you would put in an animated character. All right, so let's go to media. Let's make sure we're in videos and go to animate characters beta. Okay, now what I'm going to suggest here is your background should be transparent. I'm going to suggest that you should do that. You should put your enhance toggle on here. You see that? Put it on. And then also, you know, make this as big as possible. Why not? Just as big as you can within that window. Now, the only issue that you have with animate characters is that you're probably going to need to read the text off someone else's screen. Now, what I do with mine is I click record and then quickly I go over to the text that I want to read. And then when I'm finished, I quickly go back to my editing tab and click stop. All right. But an easier way for you to do this is just to talk to the person next to you and say, hey, I'm about to record. Can I read the text off your screen? And then when it's your turn, you can read the text off my screen. All right. So let's go to record here. Now you can change the characters. There are some quite cool ones actually, like robots. I mean, that's quite good for Cyber Scotland Week, I think. Maybe I'll do a robot for all of them. I'll start with Evans. Now, one thing about Evans is I probably want to. I kind of would like to get this whole body on there, so let's do that. And then click record. Be careful with people online. If someone asks to meet you or wants photos, tell a trusted adult. There we go. Nice. So that's going to process now. It's going to listen to my voiceover. It's going to move when I move my lips, or when it listens to the sound, it'll move the robot. If it thinks it needs a shrug of the shoulders, it's going to give you a little shrug of the shoulders. It will basically move in time with the voiceover you've given it. And you can see that it's processing here. We're on 28% now. So we'll give that a little bit of time to catch up. Do make sure you've put your enhanced audio on there as well. You can do it afterwards, I think. I can't even remember now. You might have to try that out yourselves. But there we go. And where is the robot? Nice, right in there. So I think I'll bring that down a little bit. Put it in the middle. Don't mind his antennas are just overlapping ever so slightly. And then let's give this one a play. Be careful with people online. If someone asks to meet you or wants photos, tell a trusted adult. Nice. And then we're on to the third one, which is A. So what do I want to do here? Now, you can just get on with this now. You maybe want to lower the volume down on me so you can get on with it yourselves. But all I'm doing is getting rid of the text bits that I don't want. There we go. Now, the only thing about this one is that it's right in the middle. So if I wanted to put my recording on the top, on the bottom, it would be quite small, wouldn't it? So what I think I'm going to do is kind of move my box to the side like this. Then maybe make it nice and big by using my plus button there. Put it up to the top, and then I can put either my animated character or my own face to the left-hand side of that. So I think I'll go with media, record yourself on this one, I think. Very, very simple. Ask a trusted adult before accepting friend requests or clicking pop-ups. Don't accept people you don't know. There we go. Save recording in there. Now with this one, I think I'm going to click Enhance Speech. There we go. That button there while it's processing. I'll go to the crop button. And I think I'll go for this kind of oval shape here because that'll sit nicely down the left-hand side next to my text. So that's cool. Click Done. And then just pop that into the kind of place I want it to be. Okay, round about here. Now, what you might want to do here, you might want to bring this down in the layer stack so it goes behind your text. Now, you can see that my head here is kind of slightly off center. So all I want to do is double click there and then just bring myself into the middle. Okay, click Done. And then I can also bring myself just overlapping here and see what that's like. Before accepting friend requests or clicking pop-ups. Don't accept people you don't know. Nice. And then I've got two more. So here I'm going to delete, and delete here. Now, I don't mind where this is positioned, actually. It's pretty good. So maybe if I went to add content, media, One thing maybe I will try with you here is, let me just open this up here. So if you're on an iPad, right, and you really want to do animate character, then the workaround is that you would come out of your project by clicking the top left A for Adobe, go down to animate character. Maybe I'll go for a different robot this time, maybe this one. Okay, pop it up here. Enhance speech, make sure that's on. I'm going to click record and then go and look at my partner's text, or maybe I'll switch tabs, for example. But let me record this. Background is always going to be transparent. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let's cancel that. It's right thing. There we go. That's better. Let's go for that again. Oh, no, it's doing it again. Let's get rid of these somehow. How am I going to get rid of this? MacBook Pro. There we go. R is for reliable. Not everything online is true. Check with an adult to make sure it's real. Done. Okay. Now, this is going to... I've done this on a separate project now. This is for iPad people. Okay, so it's going to process in a bit. And what I'm going to do is, when this is finished, processing and things like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it in the editor, and then I'm just going to tap on that piece of media, that little robot, and I'm going to say to it, hey, I want to copy it. When I've copied it, I'm going to go back over to here, and then I will make sure that I've got go to paste, go to the three dots here, and I will just paste it straight in. Okay. It's still processing now, so I might leave that to process. I wonder if it's taking a little bit longer than we would like, because I've got two screens open now doing two separate tasks. But in the meantime, maybe what I'll do is I'll just go to my last one, show you the process again. So we're on tell now. Delete, 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 and delete. Maybe this one, I'll just do add content, media, record yourself. Now, a good tip is you can move this box so that I can see that text in the middle, okay? If something online makes you feel scared or worried, tell a trusted adult right away. Okay, save recording. That's going in there. And let me think about what I want to do here. I'm going to click enhance speech. There's a lot going on here right now, so I'm just making sure that everything is working as it should. Okie dokie. There we go. Even my animate character has kicked in as well, so that's good. So I'll show you how you can, on an iPad, how you can then open this in an editor and then bring it across just using copy and paste. Okay. So it's going to give me the option in a second to open in editor. It's just up here. There we go. Open in editor. Okay, cool. So what you'll do here is you'll go to three dots, copy. And then on an iPad, you will go into the top left. And then you can go down to your recent projects, open up the one you need, which is your video, which for me is here. And then you can go to the three dots here and paste. And my robot is right there. Okay. So actually a really cool one to do here would be to bring it up like that and put it behind my text. Just check that one.
It's for reliable. Not everything online is true. Check.
That's perfect. I did self-record for the last one. Let's have a little think about how we might do this. Maybe, what's it look like behind this? Okay, maybe I'll do a crop, like a circle crop, something like that. Bring myself into the middle. Click in the gray, position it where I want it to be, slap bang in the middle. That's perfect. But then I also want it to be behind my text. Nice. So now if I look, every single one has got either a self-record or it's got an animated character on it, including my introduction video, which is lovely jubbly. Okay, what have I got to do? I've got to do two things before I finish now. Two things before I finish. First one, click the plus in between any of your scenes. Go to add transition. I think I might go for a slide today. I never know what the difference between a slide and a wipe is, if I'm honest. Or a push. Maybe I'll go for a slide. Fine. And then down the bottom here, it says apply to all scenes. There we go. Apply to all scenes. So in like 2 clicks, you've got a beautiful transition on every single scene, which is cool. And then what else do I want to do? Well, the last thing I want to do is put a nice little soundtrack on this. Let's go to add content, media, just be media on the left-hand side if you're on an iPad. Go to music. And then what kind of thing would I do here? Maybe I'll go down to background music, view all. I love a bit of lo-fi. Oh, that's not the lo-fi I thought it would be. Maybe I'm just going to search lo-fi because it is my favorite. Let's have a look. No. Chili Village. Every day. Right, Chili Village in that. Now, the one thing you've got to understand about a voiceover and a soundtrack interacting together is, hi, and welcome to my, sometimes the track might be a bit too loud. I normally bring it down to about 15, but I think this track isn't necessarily like a pumping track. So 20 should be all right. Smart infographic on how you can stay safe online as part of Cyber Scotland Week 2026. Keep your information private. Move it along to see whether it does get like a pumping bass.
To meet you, or wants photos, tell a trusted adult.
Yeah, I think 15 is still going to be the one I go to because when that sax kicks in.
Be careful with people online. If someone asks to meet
now,
you
also are going to want to make this track fade out. Otherwise, this is going to drop off a cliff at the end. So make sure you've got fade out selected. 2 seconds is fine, maybe 3 seconds, something like that. And then this is a done deal. We are done. So if you want to download this, I suspect probably nobody wants you to download this because it'll take up space on either your iPads or your Chromebooks or your laptops or your school server. But if you do, then 720, that's fine. That's great video resolution. And it's a little bit smaller as well. But otherwise, you can click Share, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or View Only link, and then you will have your infographic, which was your kind of one that you can print out, and you will have your video on there as well. And all you have to do is click Create Link, and it will pop out a URL which you can use to share with whoever you like. Okay, that is a wrap. Let's go here. Yeah, nice. Oh, not usually that one. Not usually that one either. I can't even remember which one it is anymore. Not even that. It's this one. There you go. Well done, everyone, on completing Cyber Scotland Week 2026. As always, an absolute pleasure to be here with you. If you haven't registered, don't forget to register so that you'll get your certificates at 4 p.m. They will be sent out to your teachers. And also go to that link too to see the next live lessons that are coming up this fresh spring. What are we? Spring 2 term. Right, a pleasure as always. I hope that was good for you. Don't forget that you can always pause and come back to this. Do check out the YouTube channel where you'll see all the recordings of all the live lessons. You can go and revisit them at any time whatsoever. Other than that, it's been a pleasure as always. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.